Welcome to this channel, Data Visualization and Graphics using R. We can use Python, Starter and other softwares available, but in this video we're going to use R, and in particular we're going to use the Tidyverse package, which has got enhanced key packages like the ggplot2 and others. Then we will also make use of the GridExtra package for combining graphics that we will have plotted. Okay, here we go. By the way, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so that you don't miss easy to follow data science tricks. Here we go. By the end of this video, we will have plotted all these graphics that you are seeing on the screen right now. Yeah, so the ggplot2 and the Tidyverse, they're really good. You can do more complex graphics, the time series and the other things, the mappings, the survival analysis and the like, spatial temporal models. You can do so many things. Okay, but for the sake of this video, we're just going to do the basics, and by the end of the day, by the end of this lesson or this tutorial, we're going to be able to plot all these graphics and combine them in one graphics grid like the one we're seeing on the screen now. Oh, great. Remember to subscribe, like, share and comment. Yeah, let's proceed. We're going to use R in this tutorial. So in particular I'm using the RStudio, but you can use any other platform. Okay. Okay, this interface, I have the script here which I've already written, which I will take you through, and then we have the console here. That's where we get the commands that are passed onto the interpreter, our interpreter, so that we can get the results. Okay, we can interactively use this console to use the R as a calculator or as an interpreter interactively, but we can also use the scripts so that we can have more control to learn maybe one line by one line or threaded lines and so forth, or to learn the whole script at once. Okay, and then the outputs will be here because we have got the files here which are active. The plots, so far there is no plot active. The packages, there are these packages, the ones which are active, by now they will have the ticks, but it means because we're not started running, there will be the base ones which will already be running, like the methods, the stats. These are the from the base, the sources, the base. These ones, most of them are already loaded. Okay, but as we start working here, we're going to load the packages like the Tidyverse, the core package, the main package for this session, because as you have seen, this is all about the data visualization and graphics using R, and in particular we're going to use the Tidyverse. So we have got the ggplot2 inside the Tidyverse. Of course, also the deep layer inside there. Alright, so let's go. This first page of this script, we're just lining on a one command here, one line 8. We're loading the Tidyverse library or package. Okay, this is a library, or we can call it package because it's the main package. Okay, so it's fine. I can just write maybe package, but the same as library. Okay, now this is the main or the primary. Some people call it main. Indeed, it's the main. So it's the main primary data science package for data visualization and graphics in R. It's known as Tidyverse. Okay, Tidyverse simply means tidy. It's like we have got the data which is tidy in tidy format, and then we can access it and have control to do the visualization and the analysis in a tidy format, tidy manner. Alright, put it in other language, it's like using data frames in 2 dimensions. So whereby we have got the columns and the rows, and then we have the intersections, which are known as the cells. Some people call it like a two-way contingency table. So, but we call it a data frame. Alright, and this is more common data structure in the R, and even Python or any other more advanced programming languages. They will be using data frame format or structure. Yeah, so that's where the Tidyverse is coming from. Okay, the way this is tidy. Okay, inside the tidy we have already the 9 key libraries. The ggplot2, the one we're going to be using in this session. We have got the DP, the plier. Okay, this one is called as DP plier, and then we have got the tidy R, read R, table, string R, forecasts. Forecasts is for, we'll do this one in another video. This one is very special when you're dealing with the categorical data. Okay, categorizations and the like, analysis of categorical data. So then we'll be using a lot of this one, whereby the string R, that's when we're working with the string data. Okay, the table, this one is just for imaging the data structure so that we understand it very well, data frame. And then the read R, that is for reading data sets like CSV, TXT and the like. And then we have got the ggplot2, that's for plotting, the main one for plotting graphs. The player, that's for the verbs that we use inside ggplot. This and Tidyverse, this one, the verbs that we use, how to communicate in Tidyverse or ggplot2, so that we can do the data manipulation, especially the graphics, data visualization and graphics. Yeah, tidy R, as already said, that's we deal with formatting of the data structuring of the data frame. Okay, this one, the loop date, that's when we have the date structures and the time. So we can use the dates and time functions. I think we'll do more about times and dates in another video. This one is just for advanced, enhanced R programming with macros and like. Alright, let's run this where we are, line 8. So if we run this line 8, we can see already it's running. That's the Tidyverse. It's loading these packages we're saying. Let me maximize here, so we can see this one is the Tidyverse. So attaching the core Tidyverse packages, exactly what I was saying. So the dplyr, forecasts, g+2, replicate this pro R, and then we have the read R, all these ones as we said. Yeah, so this is what we have loaded. And then some conflicts, of course. Here it's like the dplyr is also masked because it's also found somewhere. It has got a filter function which is also in the Tidyverse and the dplyr, and then we have got the also the lag, which is also masked in the stats. So what it means is that the filter, we have the filter in the dplyr, but we have got the filter already in the package, in another package stats. Similarly, the lag is also already in. So it's like the conflicts, but these are not a problem. So use the conflict package to force all conflicts to become errors. You can leave it for now. Okay, it's just some warnings. Yeah. Okay, let us move on. Now, if okay, I can maximize this one. Okay, now if we see, we have got the okay, let's put R. So put another R. Okay, so this one, we have the set width. That is where you check the current working directory, and you can check the current working directory. Okay, and then you can also change or set the working directory. Okay, so what I've done is I've started by setting a working directory here. If I run, I've just done directory. Okay, if we just came to this one, then we would see what the current where I'm working. Okay, the working directory. Okay, line 15. Okay, but let me deliberately start with line 14. So I run, so that I change my working directory into downloads. Okay, if now we see line 15, if I run it, then to say see users downloads. That's where we are now. So we can change the working directory. Maybe to this one. I'll be using the YouTube channel. So if I can run from here up to here, then to change the working directory from the downloads, and it will go into this one. Okay, so and if we will see it now, it will say now we've changed into YouTube. Okay, which means anytime now if you just run this one, it will be telling you that you are in this one. I've changed. Okay, so the way we're doing now here, already you can see here the package, the one which I've loaded, the Tidyverse, that's T, which means this one has already been loaded. It's now active. Last time it was not active. Okay, we have the plots. So far we've not plotted anything. The files, we have already some files open in this. Okay, these ones are for the I'm working on a package, so I'm creating a package, a library. So okay, we need okay, in another video I'll explain also how we create packages in R. Alright, then let's go to help. Okay, you can type here to do some help, something like that. Okay, but we're not working with this one. And then view, you can have some views there. Okay, but I think we'll be interested in the plots. Okay, so for now we have nothing. Okay, all right, and here that's for the variables and the data set environment that we have here. Okay, the history so far. Okay, there was some history that we've been doing here. Okay, and then the connections. Okay, we're not going to do some connections for now. Okay, let us just proceed. Okay, of course you can also use Python, embedded Python in R. Okay, all right, let us proceed now with this our script. Okay, so line 12 21 up to 27. Here we are loading the grades CSV into our data frame, so we can use the base foreign library. So the base foreign library is already loaded. If you didn't have, we would say library foreign, but this one F foreign is usually automatic. So it's already loaded, but I will have read the grades. Okay, this one what I'm reading here. If I can go to Excel here, so I have this data set. That's what I'm reading. Okay, so I've got the ID here and all that one, and I've got these 6 subjects, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we're going to read this data set I created myself. So you will, in another video I'll explain now how do you simulate the data set. I simulated this one in Python. You can just simulate the same data sets in R. Okay, or in Starter. Alright, but this one I simulated in Python. Okay, so which means we have the data set up to 100, not 100, up to 200. Alright, now let us run. Let us upload this package. So it's in already where I was showing you. It's already in the YouTube channel. Yeah, videos. So if I run it, then you can see that now here, for the first time, we have the data here. Okay, if you can just want to see here using this one here, you can, if you can just click this arrow, you will see. Okay, I can maximize here. You will see that this is the DF grades, because here we said DF grades in line 24, and then we read that grades the SV. Okay, so this is using the base foreign library. You see, so which means we have the student ID, the very same one I was showing you, 6 and that. If you can click here on this grid, then it will show you here. So this was the source, that's it, but it will bring here this file that we are seeing, that I was showing you in Excel there. Okay, alright, so I can close this one. This is using the base foreign, which is already there. In that case, use the dot, but sometimes you can use the read R, the one which we got from the, if you remember, we had the read R, this one here, version 2.16. So if we're using this one, then it needs first you to load the Tidyverse, or if not the ggplot and like that. So if you load this one, then you will see that you can use, instead of a dot, a period, you can use an underscore. So it's the same structure, read.csv, but this one now, when you're using this one, it must have an underscore. Okay, so this one was maybe grades. Let me put this one maybe grade 1. Okay, the first one. Okay, the one which we use the base. So if I run, it will repeat as it is, but now I mean, you will have now grade 1 down here if I can do it. So it is the same one, but now it's grade 1. That's for that one. Okay, this one I can remove it. I can delete this one. How do I remove it? I can just interactively say here remove. Then this is GF. If I just start typing, because they're already inside here, so they already show in the memory. So this one in the historical memory. So this one is the first one. I can delete it. I can remove. Then you can see that here we have only the one. Now if this one now, that's the one we use the base. I want you just to compare that this one when we use the base library, the foreign. But when you use the underscore also, that's line. This one now, you see. So you see this one now is the same as what we had there, exactly. The only difference is that, okay, if I do this one, you can just see this one when you load it by the base. That one, you can see the way it's coming here. So you have got the structure, the columns. Okay, you have got 20 observations and 9 variables, and then the columns. The student is integer, has got this 1, 2, 3 up to 200, and then this sex is character, males and females. That order, the way the data set was going up to the 200 ones, and then the age up to chemical. Have been chemistry have been entered as the integers. Okay, when we're using the base. Okay, whereby when we used the this one, the format of the ggplot, the Tidyverse, it's the same one. If I can open here, it will be the same one, no difference. Okay, so the structure just the same. If I open this one, the other one, this one, they will be the same. So the grades 1, you can see the way it's looking. It's the same as just grades or grades 1. That's the same. Okay, but the difference is the structuring. So you can see that here, this one now is saying num. See, 1 to this one, the way it's showing. Num, which is numerical. Now this one coalesces into when you say just num, it coalesces into double. The highest level of num numeric is double. Okay, so while by this one it was specifically entered as an integer because it was sensing the base is one. It was just changing how. So I would prefer that you should be using in this case when you're using the ggplot, it's better to use the read .csv. But there's no problem. Even if we had this one which we had top here, when we'll be using gplot, it will itself to convert it into this format of this one. Okay, but I just wanted to know that there are two methods so we can do it. Okay, now this one, if you learn this one, the read R, I've already learned, but let us go here to summary statistics. Okay, let me this one do like that. Okay, so that we have the space here to here, that. Okay, so the summary statistics and tabular visualization. So if we learn from here up to here, you see that you can just see the head. So you see, so this is the head. If you can maximize, you can see how it's showing. Okay, so to show that you have got the sex, because this we're using now the read R, the way we'll be using in Tidyverse. So to be showing you the type here, that is double. That's the double. It's numeric. Here it was saying numeric, yeah, the columns double. If you can see that here. So student column sex is character, but age is if I can maximize here, age, student ID is double, then age is also double. All these are double. Okay, double. Okay, yeah, so you can see, yes. Then we have, let's go on. If we display now the structure, that's what we are seeing here. So we want to display here, you can display also run. So if you see, to show here the structure, the one which we're seeing here, you can also display in the console here in the output window, so that you see that one. So it will be this one which we're saying here exactly, to give you the structure of the data frame, and which is the attribute, that one, or like that. That's how it is structured. Okay, that's the data structure. Okay, let's just proceed. The next we go to the summary. Great. So if we summarize, then it will summarize the whole data frame. Okay, and it will have some summary statistics. The 5-point summary statistics plus mean, there will be 7. Okay, if I learn this one, let's learn. If I learn this one, then what will happen is run. Okay, I maximize here. So we'll see that we'll have for each variable we'll have these points. The 6, we call them the 5-point summary, but it will add the mean, so it will be 6 point. What I mean is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 point for the box plot, and then we'll add the mean, because the box plot does not show the mean. So for the box plot we call them 5-point summary, but for here, when you use the summary command in R, it will add the mean. Okay, so for any numeric. Okay, but for character one like sex, it will just summarize the length, and then the class that will be the character, that's the data type, which is like string, and then the mode to just say character again. But here for, yeah, that's all. Later on we're going to group this age. In this video we're going to categorize age into groups. Then you'll see, when we'll see the grades again, we'll have changed. We'll see also we'll have the length, class, and mode, and the class, when we do that, it will be a factor. Okay, all right, we'll see that one very soon. Okay, let us proceed. So where are we? We are now, that's exactly what I was saying. So let me maximize. We are now categorizing, because this one we've done already. This one, can remove this. So we are on the, okay, we've already done all this one, so I can remove this summary. That's what we're doing. I'm showing you so that I show where we are. Okay, that's why I'm putting a red pointer here on the left. So we are now here, so I'll put a pointer here. So we are summarizing. I will run up to here. What this one is doing, okay, let me explain first before I learn. Okay, we want to categorize the age into age group. Okay, so you can see this one, this line 43. Okay, the line 43 here, if you can see, cut. Okay, it's a printing. You can see here already on top here. So only that it's an extended printing, whereby printing returns the values. The cut does not return the values. Instead, the cut returns or prints or returns a string. In other words, whereby the print you can return the strings and also any other data type, the numeric and like. But for the cut, always it will return a string. So you see the way, another way of printing and changing, coalescing together or combining together the different data types into a string. That's why we use the cut. That's for cut is for concatenate. Okay, into a string from different formats. You can write strings or numeric or characters, factors, whatever, but the end result will be one string. So here you start with this one is minimum age. So this was a string or a character. So it will say minimum age. That's why it's in quotes and strings, and then comma. because when you have another data type, you must use a comma. So so comma, then it will concatenate. So this data type, another one is the minimum. You see, we don't put in quotes. Minimum degrees of the data frame grades age. When you say data grades, this one, the dollar sign in R, it means you are calling the attribute or the column for what? For this data frame. Okay, so this data frame, when you say age, it means you are calling the age. And then in this case, of course, if there is no confusion, you can just type age, it can work. But sometimes you need to do it in full like this. Okay, so to take the minimum of all ages. Here, what we want is to, before we categorize the age groups, we want to see what is the minimum in our data set and what is the maximum. Okay, what, in other words, the range. Okay, yeah. So, of course, I can type here. We could use range. It's another way. So we can say range, and then I can put in age. Okay, so range age. Oh, so as we said that we must have the df underscore grades. Okay, then the dollar sign. Yeah, age. Yeah, so that's exactly what we have there. So instead of minimum there, if I put range where there's minimum here, then we see that we have 18 as the minimum and 25 as the maximum. Okay, so if I wanted, I could just do as well like that. I could have just put here range, but I just wanted to say minimum is this. I take the minimum, and then the maximum, I take maximum age, I take for the maximum. But now this one here, I separate by commas, so that this one is another data type, this one is another data type, this one is another data type. So separate them with commas, throughout. This one here, this escape character of sequencing, this is the enter a new line. Okay, so that should enter. Otherwise, without this one, it means to just put in one line, continuing. Okay. Okay. Let me remove deliberately. So if I run this line, so that you see what I mean. When I run, then it will say minimum age, this one maximum age, just in one line. See. But if I undo, if I put with a new line, enter a new line here now, then if I run this one, then now it will say minimum age 18, and then this enter new line, it will start begin maximum age on another new line. Okay. Okay, another way of doing this, we could use just in one line as a tab. So if you use this tab sequence character, because then it means it will not begin a new line, but it will just tab. So the same thing we had tab, it means you just make a tab with a space like this. All right. So I've seen that the whichever you can use this one, or you can use the range, whichever you can use the range, or you can use this one which I've done there, or whichever the same. But by the end of the day, what we wanted is to know the minimum and the maximum. Okay. So because if we just see on this data set, we can't tell. If I just do like that, we can't tell what is the minimum age and what is the maximum age. Okay. Okay, that's why we're using that. Okay, with this inspection. Okay, now we go to, let us proceed. We go to define now the categories, because we are what we're doing is, let me resize here to here, so that we see properly what we're doing. Okay, so we've done step line 42 and line 43. Okay, we've known now that is 18 and up 25. Then the next step now, I'll come here. Now what we do is we break. We define the breaks and the, I just learned both of them, the breaks and the labels. By the breaks, the edge breaks and the edge labels. Okay, the edge breaks, that will mean that we're going to cut this data set, we're going to group this data set into how many classes? It depends. Like in my case here, I want it into 3 categories. So if it's 3 categories, the edge labels, there will be 3. That's 1, 2, 3. But the cut points, because the cut points are the upper bounds of each edge group, they will not be 3. They will be 3 plus 1. They will be 4. So if you want 4 groups, then the edge breaks, they should be 5. So like here, the edge breaks, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, in order to have 3 edge groups. Hello? If you wanted 6 edge groups, then it means you needed 7 cut points. So we want 3 groups, then we have 4 cut points. So I think I just said that if you wanted 6 groups, then you need to have 7 cut points. Okay, let us run. So if we see what we've done is we have the cut points here. If I can see, go up, cut points, is that one? Yeah, so we can see the breaks. So we have the edge breaks, and then which is nums integers, and then the edge labels, which is the characters that we have here. Okay, as values, because these ones were the data, and then we have here is the data, then we work with the values here. Okay, this is the data structures of the tables, where these ones are just the values or variables. Now, after doing this one, then the next one, we have done this one. Then the next one is to create. So it's from 29, 50 up to here. Okay. Let me maximize here. So what we're saying is, now, after we have created the edge breaks, I can put on one page like this. After we created the edge breaks and then the edge labels, then we create a new categorical edge column now to be added into this dataset that we have. So what do? We just put the name, then $sign edge group, that will be the new variable or new column which was not there before, and then this one we're going to use cat. So we use the function cat for categorization. So when we say cat, then this one, the variable, the data that we had for edge, that's column, then we put the breaks. Let me put this one here. So we put the edge breaks, the breaks, we put the edge breaks, and then the labels, we put these ones, the edge labels. And then another options again inside the cat, are we including the lower limit in the first category? If yes, in the first interval, in the first group, this 18, are we going to include 18? Because sometimes these ones which we put here, the edge breaks, in this cat, they are always the upper bounds. So 18 is like the upper bound. That's why we had, instead of 3 groups, because we wanted 3 groups, we had 4 upper bounds. So that the first appearing upper bound would be the lower limit for the first group, up to 20. Then the other one from 20 up to 23. The other one from 23 up to 25. But now the question is 18 going to be included in this one? If no, then we say include lowest false. But in this case, 18 it was found in this data set. The minimum was 18 and the maximum was 25. So which means 18 must be included. But if I put here 17 here, another way I can just put here 17. Then here I say include lowest false. It's just the same thing. But there's no problem. Even if I put here 17 and I say include lowest true, it will still be correct because there's no 17 in our data. But suppose I put our data here, our summaries is 18. Then suppose I was interested to start from 19, maybe from 20 up to 25. Then if I started with the 18 here, but I want to start from 20, then even if I put 20 here at the beginning here, but if I did this one include lowest true, then it means in the first category, which wanted 20 to somewhere, to maybe 20 to 21 to 23, then it will still contain 18 or 19. Okay, so that's why that's the use of you. In that case, you must strictly include lowest false. Alright. Then there's another option. Again, the right. The right, it means for each interval, the rightmost break, which is the upper, like 20, 23, 25, the upper limits, should they be included? Okay, like this 20, should it be included in this 18 to 20 or 21 to 23? In other words, here we have up to 20, here we have up to what? From 21. So this, if you say right true, it means this boundary that we are putting here, it will be included in the like 18 to 20. It means 20 will be included here. If you said false here, if you said right is false, then 20 will be included in 21 to 23. Okay, I think you have understood what I mean. Okay, it's a matter of about less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. That's why we're putting this true or false, so that whether you are going to strictly be saying greater than or strictly less than, or you are going to include less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. That's how we use the true false here. Okay, I think you have understood. And then we can display now the grades, the data frame, to see the head, to see how it's looking like. Let me run. So you can see that if I can start with it here, we'll see that now we have added, this is the one which we have, edge, mat, the parallel up to that one. So you see I've got the new edge column there. Okay, that we have put there, which is not showing here, but it's saying information here. So 2 more variables. So which means after physics we had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had mathematics. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the 6th one was chemistry. Now it has added the edge group, and it is a factorial, or factor. it's a factor now. Okay, whereby the age, the sex is a character, but this one has been entered as the factor. Okay, why this character is like it's just string. There are no labels. So in other words, character here, it's like it's just what we call it is like nominal. But for factor here, age group, it's like ordinal. So there's an order. Okay. But that's what factors here now. Of course, if we want the sex, we convert it into a factor as well. Okay. Okay. But okay, we'll deal more about this when we go to categorical analysis of categorical variables later on in another video. Okay, about cuts, for cuts. Okay. If you can see here on the data, so with the grades that we're using, this one, the one I was just explaining, but we don't need this one. Let me remove. So I can remove the one. So if I page up, remove. I had the remove sometime. I can take from the history. I use the arrow up. So another arrow up again. Remove. Okay, here. So I can just put 1. So that I remove the 1. Okay. So that I just have the grades. This one, and then after this, we have got edge break and break. Okay. So now if you can see now this one, you have added now the edge group. You see, if I can maybe just click there. You see that now you've added the edge group at the end, and it has grouped. So like this one is edge 23, so it puts in 21, 23. 23 is included in the upper limit. That's why I'm saying upper limit is right. Okay, 21 to go to the 1. So if you see 19, it will include in the 18 to 20. I think you're following what I was saying. Yeah, 18 would be in 18 to 20 like that. So if there's someone who is maybe a bit odd, let me see, like this one. 20. No, this is not this one. The 24, this one. So for example, this one is 25, then it will be in the age group 24 to 25. So it has done correctly, correct things. Yeah. Okay. We can close this one. Go back to this one. Okay. So that's how we categorize. And then the next thing, okay, we can display the head. That's exactly what I was showing. But I was showing from here. You can see that from this one. But you can also run this line 56, then you show here. Okay, that's what we were already doing before. So we'll have the edge group here, okay, as a factor. All right, and that's the head, which shows only 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, okay. Let's go to it's 5. It's from index 0 up to 5. So the index is 5 will be also that's indexing from 0. So this one will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why it displays 5. Okay, I mean 6. Okay, records or observations. Okay, let us see. Go again. Run that one. Let us go to this one now. What are we doing now? After doing this, we have categorized our data set. Now we want to rearrange the columns. What we want is we want the, let me go down. We want our age group to come immediately after age. Okay, we just want that, but you can leave it there. But sometimes we need to rearrange. You can rearrange. You can say with the order. Maybe you can say you want mathematics, then computer science, then chemistry, then English, then physics, then biology. You can rearrange here. How can you rearrange these columns? To arrange these ones, so there are many techniques. Technique 1 is this one. You can just do like that. Okay, you can say relocate. You can use relocate. So you can say relocate, then use the data frame, which is this data frame here, which is the df grades. That's our data frame of 200 variables. So we say then comma, then we say age group. That's the one which we want to. We just mention the age group without putting. Here it does not matter. You can put def grades, $sign, whatever. But here, the way the relocate was programmed, it senses that this is found in this data frame. So you can just say age groups, because already said the data frame, so it will know. Okay, then now comma, then you say after, but with a dot before after age. Okay, if it was if you wanted, sometimes you could say before mathematics. So for it to come between age and mathematics, you can say after age, or you can say before mathematics. So to say before mathematics, it means you use again the capital letter, I mean the dot period. Then that dot after the dot is very important. It's part of the programming. So you put the dot, then before math. Okay, let me run this one. So if you run, then if you can see now here, it will not show immediately, but the data set will have shown already. You see, so the age has come here now. Last time it was at the end. Okay. Of course, if you can just run this one again, print that one, then that's when it will show that now it has moved here, just after edge, between edge and mat. Okay, so double, numeric double, and this factorial. And in factor, not factorial. Okay, which is ordinal, of course. Then let's go ahead. That is that one. There are also other techniques, but it's fine. I'll just leave it like that. Other techniques is to use select. Okay, so okay, we'll see it. We'll use it. There are maybe 6 techniques or 5 or like that. Common ones. I'll show you later on. The other. So you can use select. That's one of them. When you use the select, and we call it subsetting. So you can subset. What we mean is that subset is versatile. You can select 1 or 2 or a set of columns from this sub-column. So it becomes, we call it subset. And then when you're subsetting, there's the ordering again. You can order in that subset. Okay, so instead of using the locate, you can use subset. I'll show you the subset and select down here. Okay, it is down here. You'll see it somewhere down. Okay, where are we? We are here. Okay, so now we go to this one. Oh, we've already done. Okay, we just wanted to print the summary again to see what we have. So if we can run that one, then we can see that now, that's exactly what I was saying. That now this one already explained, but now here what I meant is that now it will include for edge group, it will also include the length class. Length class and mode was for the character. Okay, but for the audit, for the factor, it will mention the labels, these 3 labels, and then the frequencies. Okay, that's what it will report. So there are 77 are in this group and 74 are in this group. So that's what we'll put in the summary. But for all which are numeric, it will put this minimum, first quartile, up to maximum, which are 5-point summary of the box plot plus the median. So there will be 7 for each. Okay, the edge for the edge, or even the RStudio ID and the edge, but also for the 6 subjects, the ones that were for the students, the grades. All right, let us proceed. Then now we are done with this one. So we move now here. Okay, this one now. Okay, I can maximize. What we're doing now, we want to display the frequency of each sex, and we can also display the frequency table of each group, because these are the categorical. There are only these 2. Okay, so I just put there for that is frequency. Okay, I can put in calculator. Frequency tables for categorical data or variables or columns, variables. Okay, so if we see for sex and then for age group, I can just run all of them at once. Okay, so we'll use print and then table. So to do the frequency tables, you will have the function table. Then when you want to say table, it knows that the variable which is inside is categorical, and then to give the what the frequency, that one. Okay. Okay. Even if you put numeric here, it will put the table, but the table will be too long. Okay. If you put it for age, it will be too long table, which is not allowed, which is not a good way. Okay. So let me run. So if I maximize there, then you can see that we have got a table, a one-way frequency table for sex, which is female, and then R95, and this one and that one. Similarly here, you've got the numbers there. Yeah, of course you can, if you wanted, you could do even the percentages there. So, but we're not interested in doing the percentages. This one we're done. Let's go where we want to have more visualization of data. Okay, so visualization of data. Let me maximize here. Okay, I can also go up to here. Okay, all right, so now we'll start seeing the plots now here, because so far we didn't have the plots. Okay, you can have the bar plot for sex and the bar plot or bar chart for age group. Let me line this one. So what happens is that you use the GG plot, and then we can see here already we've got the geometric bar, and then the blue color, black. Okay, so the fill color. Okay, let me run and explain what's happening here. So if I run, okay, oh, there seems an error here. Let me see what is the error. Graphical visualization. Oh, okay, I did not comment. Maybe graphical visualization. Is there something at the end? Nothing. Graphical visualization. But oh, okay, when I highlighted, I did not include the comment. All right, let me run again. So what is happening, let me go up. This is the one which we have here. Okay, if I go like this, okay, so we have, to see it nicely, I can just maximize here. So you can see that I want to explain what it's doing here. Yeah, so ggplot S6, so S6, this one is S6, these ones you put in the formula here, the one that you are plotting here. So here what we're doing is, the formula is x is x, which means the horizontal axis x is x, and it's only one variable because we're just doing the plot, so it's the one variable, it's not, they're not two. Then plus geo bar, so bar, it means it's a bar graph or bar plot, and then fill blue, it means the bar plot will be filled in blue. Okay, color black, it means these, the borders of the box of the bar, I mean, will be black, this outline, the bordering, okay, but inside it will be blue. Okay, labs, so that's labels, the labels, labeling, so the title is the bar of student, plot of students by 6, and then the horizontal here, which is the x, it should be named as x, and then this one, the y axis, it should it should be named as frequency. Then plus, okay, so you can see that the ggplot always uses the plus. Plus is continuing. When you use a plus, it means it's continuing, it's one line. Then you put a geometric shape, which is a bar that you are plotting, a plot, a geometric a prototype. This is a prototype, which is a bar, and then you put a plus, and then the labelings, you put a plus, and then the themes, you can change the themes here. For example, if we, okay, you have seen here. Okay, let me just go to the other one. If we run from here up to here, so you can see that here just the deliberate, so you see the difference. But from now onwards, we'll be using the theme black and white, okay, which is green, black and white, this one. But here I use the theme maybe what, classic. Okay, so just for the sake of I can use here of minimal, okay, so that you see you have a variation. So what this one does, what you have seen, what the basic the blue, black, white, so that's black and white, that's the background with the lines like that. But if we did this one, let us see, if we run, we see that this one now, you see the difference, this is classic. So the classic, the background does not have the grid lines. Okay, if you see this one, let me run this one above. This one, the BW, had got the grid lines, these lines 75, A has got that, and the whole box is inside, the whole plot is inside the box, and with the grid at the bottom there. But this one, when I run this one, you can see that it's not enclosed in the whole box. You just have the x-axis and the y-axis. This one is classic, okay, and does not show the bars at the grid lines. Whereby you can see the colors. The geometric is a bar, which is red, and then this one is again black. If you change these colors, here's blue. That's why this was blue. Okay, you can be changing these colors the way you want it, and then the labeling, and as the way we did again, age group. This one we labeled 6 on horizontal. Here's one we labeled age group. Okay, if we run this one I can take off. If we run from here up to here, you see this one was the black and white theme. This one, the theme is minimal. That's the one which we are seeing now here. That's minimal. No. The first one was black and white, which has got some grid lines. Can run again. Then this one is the classic, which does not have grid lines. Then this one now is the minimal. Okay. But now, if you see the geometric, this one was bar plot. This one was also bar plot. But this one with is a line. So which means this one is a line plot of what? Of edge. So if it's a line plot, it's 2-dimensional now, which means you need to specify in the aesthetics. Aesthetics, you have to specify the x, which will be the student ID at the bottom here, versus the vertical, which will be the y, which will be the edge. Okay, so this will be, it's not edge group. This was edge group, so it was this one we're seeing here. But when we just use edge, you can't use a bar plot. You have to use the line graph. Okay, let me run, and that's why these ones we are using only one variable. This one variable, we are univariate. But this one for a line, it's like scatter plot or like that. We need to use 2-dimension, x-axis and y-axis. Okay, so I run, but the theme here is minimal. That's what I wanted to see also. So you see, this is the one. Okay, by the minimal, it means now you will have the grids there, but you can see the way it's showing there, and then you can have command. When you can put here paper, paper. If I wanted maybe pink, not pink, maybe blue. If you let me run, then you will have the blue. Okay, maybe it's too strong. I can put yellow. Then if I run, then it will have a yellow like this. So that is for the minimal. You can as well add something there. This, of course, this one is not only the minimal. You can do this one to all of these ones as well. See, you can do, so you can see this one. You can do as well to this one. If I run, so you see, yeah, okay. Now where are we? We're here. Let me. So this one will be sex, but this one is where we are now is for the student, like the line graph now. So it is, you can see student number 1, what was the age? Student number 50, what was the age? Student number, if we can make it big like this, like that. I mean not big, but white, so you can see clearly. Then student number 150, you can see what was the age. Student number 200, for example, the age was here. So 200, the age here, if you can see 20, 18, 19, I think it was 19, the 200. Let us see here on the data set. The 200 should be 19. We go here, 200, let's go down, 200 age, yeah, so 200 is 19. You see, so the age is 19, that's why here age is 19, that's why here, if you can see student number 200 is 19, like that. So you can see like student number 100, see here, which is 21. So student number 100 should be 21. 100 is up. Okay, so this student 100 is 21. Okay, 22. So where is it? 100. Okay, it's not here, but when we go here, because maybe it's more. If I make it big, that's what I can see. So 100. Yeah, I see here, which is between 21 and 22. Yeah, 100. It's not 20 is here. 20 is for student 99, I think. Okay, 98 or 99. Okay, but for 100 it will be here, which is 21. Not 21. This is already 21, but it will be here, which is 22. Correct. All right. Which is this 22. All right. So let us close this one, and then this one we're done. Now what's the next? How do we plot multiple layers on same axis? Okay. So now we want to deal with multiple layers on the same axis. So do this one up to here. Okay, from here up to here. Yeah, okay, let me first start with this one. So this one, what are we doing? We are just creating. Okay, I just remove this one. So this one I want to run from here up to here, okay, but I want to put it on one page, but I should explain first. Yeah, on one page like that, like this. Yeah, and here also I can push so that it will explain nicely to the right, like this. I think like that. Oh, it's fine. Okay, I can push to the left. Okay, like that. Okay, it's fine. So what I'm saying is this one, maximize again, maximize. Okay, yeah. So what we're saying is how to graph multiple layers on the same axis. So this which I'm showing here is just for the sake of learning practice. It says I will generate a new data set and do some new graphics and do it. But after this, we'll do the practical one from our data set that we have, which are these ones. Now when we do for age and like mathematics, do some correlations and then do some subplots and the like. Okay, and then combine the dependent plots together. Okay, you can combine them together. Okay, let's see this one here. Where is it? Where are we? We are here. Okay. No, this one I can remove. We are here. We are highlighted here. Okay, yeah. Okay, so what we're saying is we create a data frame, and which is known as sample data. This one x has got numbers numerical 1 up to 10, and then y1 we're just squaring these numbers. So 1 to 10 we square. When we do like this, it will scale this list of numbers or vector of numbers. It's like a vector. And then when you y square, not y square, y2 x is 1 to 10, and then y1 is the square. It's like x is equal to y1 is equal to x square. okay, whereby here it will be y2 is equal to x cubed. Okay, so that one is a square function, the other one is a cube function, and then we create the plots using the layers. So we use ggplot, that's for when we're using the ggplot2, and then we have the sample data, this one will be, and then aesthetics, we have now the ethics, we have aesthetics x is equal to x, okay, and then y, we don't have y here, but I mean the geometric now, we can have a line which is y is equal to y1, and then the points, the same one but with the points, and then we have again y is equal to y2, and then the points, and then the label here, and then we have the labelings, all these ones we have here, and then the theme, I've already explained about the theme. This is black and white, which is a clean one without those at the background. It's just white, black and white, and then without the vertical lines and the horizontal lines inside, like the grid. And then I've added also coordinate Cartesian. So this one is for specifying the limits, if you wanted some limits. Okay, what I'll do is if I run the whole of this at once, you may not really understand it, or I may not be able to explain all at once. So what I'll do is this: I'll run up first from here. Okay, let me run the data set. Okay, so I run. So I've given the data set and I've defined like that, and then with the function which are those ones, and then now I plot this one. I'll stop at the same here. I'll not continue, so that you see. I'll stop here because here I put plus, it means it's continuing. Okay, but I'll stop here. If I if I run this one, run. So if you see what I've done, let me do like that. Okay, so I want to explain. So what I've done is the line, you fit the line, that's y is equal to y1, which is from here, which is this one at the bottom, which is y is equal to x square. When you say y is equal to y1, it is the same as y is equal to x, it's the same as y1. When you say y is equal to y1, it means you want here to plot the y1 value. So it's like y1 is equal to x square. Okay, here we're putting in the labels, x values, y values, and the graphics at the top. These ones are coming from the labs here. We have got graphic with multiple layer, which is there. If I can push to the right, the y labels was the y values, and then the x labels is the x labels. Okay, now for the line, okay, that's for this is line 101, this one and this one, 101 and the 102. These ones are for this point. These points are for this graph, which is y equals x square. Okay, that's the y1. Okay, because the y1 was x square, whereby the y2 is x cubed. Okay, so it means, what it means here is that, let me put it up. What it means is that this first 101 and 102 were plotting. Okay, the first one, the geometric, which is a line, we're plotting just a line. Okay, and then the second one, which is point, we're pointing the points. So when we take a line, we'll have a color of a line, which is the, so what I've done is the color of the line and the points, I put them the same. But if you wanted, you could put them different, but it makes sense. The color of the line and the point will be the same color. Okay, that's the standard way. Okay, so now the other differences is that for a line, you can have a line type which you will put like 5. A line type 5 is for square. If you didn't want to say 5, you would say here line type, you would type in square in quotes. Okay, like here shape what square. Okay, so in the same way you could say line type square. Okay, that's for the line. Oh, this is not the line. The square I'm talking about is the point. Sorry. So the point is the one which is square. Okay. Sorry for this. But the line type 5, that was for the dash, the dashed line. You can see here it's dot, it's not dashed but dotted. So if you wanted, you could put there instead of 5, you could say dotted. Then you can get the dotted there. While this one, the number 2 is 2 dash. So that's why you have used a number 5. Here we used a string. Similarly here for 2 dash is number 2 dash also with another number. Okay, I can't memorize, but the manuals, so you can see which is the number 1, which is the type is the line type is number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, like that. Okay, so but if you don't memorize them, you can just type here by 2 dash dotted like that. Okay, a circle, when I put a square here like this other one, the line type, the first one, not the first one, this one was 2 dash, the point, the second one, the point, we said what was the point? Shape square. Okay, the other one, I'm seeing this other one, maybe I did mention. Okay, so this is a square, I mean circle, if you can see. Okay, then you can add there so many things as well. Okay, only that time. Okay, so that's what I've done. Now what I'll do is I will add now this up to here, but at the end, the plus, I should not include the plus. Okay, because what is here after plus is just I want to add now the limits. So here, if you wanted the whole graph, you could do the way it is, which means the way it is from the other side. But I wanted to limit now here. I want to limit maybe for x limits, I want between 5 and 8. So I just want to cut from 5, from this line, from 5 up to 8 here. And then for the y one, I will take from 0, I will cut, because when I say 8 here, when I take a vertical line, x is equal to 8, I see that x is equal to 8 will be somewhere here. I see that it's 5, roughly just above 500. 8 will be somewhere in the middle there, so which is roughly 500. So I can stop at 600, it will cover everything else. If I run now here, then you see now that I'm cutting, I've taken a portion of that graph. See? So I just wanted, I'm setting just from between 5 and 8. See? Okay, then if I want to annotate, I can go up to here. So I can annotate here. Okay, can do some annotation here, because this one, okay, let me do like this one was supposed to be like that. You see, just one thing. Let me put them like this. Yeah, so let me do again. So it's from here up to we're here. Okay, let me maximize. Okay, so we're saying at first we did only up to here. Okay, let me run it again. So we see it becomes like this. Okay, but if your interest was also to include the coordinates, if you were interested in including the coordinates, I can maximize here. So that's when I added this, but don't put the plus at the end, because the plus at the end is for the things that below. So now if my run was like this for this ggplot, then I wanted just to the one which I already explained, just like that. Okay, I wanted just to take between 5 and 8, and then now I want to add up to here. Okay, so I say y1 is equal to x square. See, y2 is equal to x cubed. See, so where would it be positioned? This one will be positioned. We use annotate and then text. When you use annotate text, okay, the code Cartesian, that's for specifying the limits. The grid, that's called Cartesian, that's for the whole grid. You are gripping that graph. You take, when you say code Cartesian, and you put the x limits and the y limits, because this is the 2 dimension when we're working with the ggplot. So it means this graph, the x and y dimensions, you are cutting a rectangle, rectangular portion where you want to visualize your graph. Okay, so which means you can see. Okay, let me do again here. If I come here, you can see that the original one, okay, not there, but here. So the original one is from 0 up to 10. See, up to somewhere 10 x values, and then here you see from 0 up to 100. Okay, because these values were from 1 up to 10. Okay, so the squares will be up to 100. The cubes will be up to 1000. That's why the whole of the graph has gone up to 1000, not 100. Okay, because of the cubes, so it should fit both. While by this one, the square one is the one which will go to somewhere 100. That's why the at 10 here is 100. Okay, so now if I wanted just a portion, I wanted to realize this relationship be just between 5 and 8. That's why I added this part. Then I took a portion. That's the use of coordinate strong Cartesian. Now I'm going to annotate now. Annotate, that's how when you annotate, it means you're adding now some labeling there on the graph. So you where will it be? The positioning, we will add the text, because you annotate text. You can annotate, if you don't want text, you annotate something else here, a visual that you wanted here. So here it's just the text. Okay, now this text will be x 6.5. So this is 6.5, which is in the middle here, yes, which is 6.5, and then the y will be 100, which is somewhere there, 100. So when they meet the intersection, y and x, where they meet there, that's where that will be the center, the geoid, the center of this text. That's not where it will begin, but that's where it will be. That's the center. Of course, you can put some options there inside the annotate here to do about justification here. But for now, I've just done like this. You can justify left, center, justify a whole vertical, upward. But those ones, vertical just and horizontal just. But those ones, for now, I've used the default. So then it will go up to the center, justified. Okay, if I run, so you see that we have the center there. When we go to 6.5 and 100, that will be on the center, which is here, to be on the center of this text. Okay, and watch out, y1 x square I've entered as a power. See, x square I've entered as a power there, which is the x square, so that should be on the power. And the y1 again, if I wanted, I would enter it as a subscript. Okay, so what happens? Okay, let me first run maybe up to the end, up to here. So I do the same, 7.5 and then 550. I put the what here. It will be the center 7.5 and then the 600, not 600, but 550, which is somewhere there. That will be on the center of this. Y2 is equal to x cubed. That's for this graph. And then for this one, I've just added something just for the sake of understanding. So I've added this one. You can see what I've done is on 5.5 here, and then 400, which is somewhere here. This one will be on the center. 5.5. So this will be on the center of this column. This will be the center of what I'm writing. Okay. The center will be here. Okay. Now, what will you type there? Okay. You see here there is expression. When I say label expression, it means it should be mathematics. Okay. So if you can see here, should be scripted. So expression y, this one is that one. If I do this one, house expression theta. If I say theta, you know the way we use in Word or Excel. So theta, it write a theta there. Then fraction, you know, it's like the way we do like latex or Excel or whatever. So the fraction, it means sum. That one, it means to put this one as a fraction, and then this will be on the numerator, and it recognizes when we put sum x square. This it knows that this is sum, not x square. This is know that this is sum product of x and y. So to put a sigma, sum is a sigma x multiplied by the y. On the denominator, because it's a fraction, comma, on the denominator there will be the square root. So the square root, which will also be the summation of what? X square, and then times the summation. So in this case, which means when we say sum that, cross sum that, it means this will be just a multiplication now. Whereby this was a power, like a power. Sorry, it was a multiplication of x and y, multiplying together and find the sum of x multiplied by y. But here it will be the sum of x square on its own, and then the sum of y square on its own, and then those sums, they are the ones which are multiplying. I mean the sum of x squares and then the sum of y squares are multiplying. Okay, let me run. So you see, we'll have like this. Okay, if we maybe here I can just change the theta. I will start with small letter. If I can put with capital letter T, if I put capital letter T, then now it would give the capital letter theta there. See? Okay. Okay, I can push it to the right. So I can push it to the right by putting on 6. Okay, let's see. So we see I push it to the right, so it's centered on 6. Okay, so that is theta. Here, if I instead of theta, if I put beta, then not delta, but beta. So if I did beta, and then I run it, why is showing not showing? Beta should have shown. Oh yeah, it's fine. So beta, so you can see the beta there. If you had maybe the alpha, I think you know alpha, then it means alpha and omega. So you see, you have the alpha. Omega, I've already just said omega, alpha and omega. If I put omega, then we'll have omega w. You can have the capital letter if you want the capital letter omega. If you want the capital letter alpha, so you see this is capital letter alpha. If you want the capital letter alpha, I'll put capital letter alpha. Okay, so if I run, then you see the capital letter alpha. Even the lambda, if I wanted the capital letter, so I put lambda with capital letter L, then to be the lambda but with the capital letter. Whereby when I put a small letter, it is the lambda but with a small letter. Okay, I think you know this. So similarly, in the same way, if you wanted the subscript or superscript, okay, because this one here was fraction x cubed. Here, where was it? Let me see here. So we said this x square here. This was a superscript, was a square. See? So when you put this one, it becomes a square. So as well, you can have, if you wanted a subscript, you could put it what below. Okay, we'll do them next time. Okay, so let's proceed. Now, but if I run without, it's fine. This is I'm cutting to here. Okay, it's fine. You already understood. Okay, then let's go to standalone histograms and this one. So if I brought this one from here up to, I just brought all of them up to here, Now I'm using theme black and white, but you can use any theme like this one I'm doing here. I'm using the theme. This one I'm using which theme? Of the theme black and white. Yeah. So this is the one which we'll be using from now onward, which has got the grid. Okay. Then if I run now this one now is done. This one is done. This one is done. Okay, what maybe I did explain here is that you can see the sizes here. The line size is 2.5. That's for that one. If I wanted to make it big here, let me put the line size maybe like a 6 and run. So you see that this line size, I mean the point size, the points are too big, 6. Whereby the line size, that's the line width now. So if I can put here, that's the line type, but I can put another one. We call it line width. Okay, so line width, if I put line width equals maybe 4, I run, then you see that line width is too big, but 4 is maybe was too big. Maybe line width I can put maybe 2. So if I run, then you see that this line width is 2. Okay, it's still more like big. Let me use line width 1.5. Okay, so this line width 1.5. For the second one, okay, which means I'm still seeing it big. Maybe let's just use 1. So 1. See this line with 1. Okay, and then for the second one, maybe we can also use the size, maybe for the circles, the points, maybe 9. If we run, you see this is size 9. Okay, for the line width, that is the line type is to dot dashed, but you can put the line width maybe to be 2. Okay, I put a comma here, and if you run, see that now you've got like that. Just wanted to see that you can play around with these graphics. Okay, and even the colors you can be changing there. Okay, these colors you already see them. You can just change. If you just put here pink, then run, it will be pink like that. So if we are instead of red, if I put black, then I run, then this will be black like that. So you can play around with this. All right, let us proceed. Okay, so we go to standalone. If we run this one, you see this is the histogram. By standalone I mean without a frequency polygon. So I said standalone histogram edge without frequency polygon, because usually we need to have a frequency polygon, but this one again is without histogram. Okay, so what we're saying is, you can save the script. So what we're saying is this one is without, is just a frequency histogram without a frequency polygon, whereby if we run, because this one was this one, okay, that's the one which we have here now on the screen. But if I run now this one, okay, this was geo histogram. If you see here, this was geo line. Okay, so always we must start with the GG plot, and then we have the sample data, the data where we're getting, we're plotting this graph, and then the aesthetics here. That's the formulation how that graph will look like on the x and y axis, whether to be using both the x-axis and the y-axis, or only the x-axis or only the y-axis. Yeah. So here on the if you were changing here, if you use the y-axis here, okay, I just forgot one thing there. If you here I used y is equal to x, but if this was x, okay, okay, but sometimes you could change it to y. Okay, like here x is edge. Okay, which means when I do like that, I get it. That's what we have here. What will happen if instead of x, if I put y is edge? So what will happen is that you will get it turned on the size, so that it means it will be a horizontal bar graph. That's what I mean, a horizontal histogram. See? Similarly for this one, this is for, and the frequencies are here, but okay, here the frequency is just a labeling, so this is not the frequency. It means now we need to change the labeling. So instead, it means here we have to interchange. It means this must be y, and this must be x. So if I run again, so it means frequency will enter here, and then edge will be now on the vertical here. So this will be a horizontal, so that the frequencies which was coming there, now we see here, and these are the edges from 18 up to 25. Hello, yeah. So similarly, but this is whereby this one, when we run this one, oh, this is one we are just doing. No, this is a frequency polygon on its own. So if I run, this will be just a frequency polygon like this without the histogram. Okay. Similarly, if you wanted it to be turned on the other side, you just change here to put y, and you change here to put y. You swap, and then you put here to put x. If you do that way, then it will be the same one, but just turned on the side, which is now we have interchanged the axis, which is like you we call it a horizontal. So that's how you change the vertical and the vertical, just interchange y and x. Okay, the order. All right. Let me go back to how they were. So it's x, and then also this one is the xh. Okay, so that when I run it, it's not like that. Let me run it. It's like this applied. It's a histogram, and I run this one. You see this one. Now, what about if we combine these together? If we combine them together, so this one we're done. The standalone, a histogram on its own, and a frequency polygon on its own. What about if we wanted them to be together? So it's this up to this. We want the histogram and the frequency polygon to be together. So what we do is we use ggplot. Then after plotting the histogram, which we're using the histogram here, because here you noticed the geom histogram, the plot type, and here this was the geom frequency polygon. Okay. So here what we do is it means we will have the histogram. We plot it first, the histogram, and then after that we plot the frequency. Correct. And make sure that the labeling must just be the same. Okay. But if you wanted, you could because we already labeled at the top there, this at the bottom you could remove the labeling. But if you are labeling it again, the labels that have been the last one are the ones which will override the labelings which are above. So the labelings will be the same, or you can just choose one labeling. Okay. So if I run, so it means it will be like this. Okay, what I'm saying here by great. So what I'm saying here by what I'm saying here is this. I can remove here up to here. Let me just delete like that, so that this one when I'm adding a frequency polygon, I don't put the category like that. Still more, it will get the same thing. Okay, I think that's the best way how to do it. Okay, but if if I undo, if this is the first one, you didn't want to label right away here like that. Okay, but this one at the end, plus is already there. If you did this way, if you did this one up to here, it will not label. Let me so it will not label like that. It will just put the edge, which is coming directly from the what. It will take the name of the variable, which was edge, and here by default it will put the default one. So by default takes the name of the variable and then count, and it does not put a topic on the main title and the subtitle at the top. Okay, here I've just talked about the title, but instead of title we have put also sub. If you want sub, you can have, for example, here I can say subtitle. So maybe happy. I'm just doing, for example. Okay. So which means if you run the whole of it to here like that, so the sub, did I use sub or subtitle? Sorry, subtitle, not sub. Okay, so if I run, so it means in that case I'll have the histogram frequency, that one, and then the subtitle will be a bit smaller, which is happy. Okay. But you can center, you can put justification so that you center them, alignment, so that maybe it's in the middle or like that. Okay, but the main title will be bigger, and then the subtitle happy will be smaller there. Okay, and then the frequency and the edge it will take. So which means the labeling you can do at the beginning or at the end here, like the way we've done like that. Okay, so I think the best way is to be using this one. Let me come back. So that not that one, but histogram. The best one is to, where is it? Standalone histogram. Okay, save. We're here. So the best way is to remove this one. That's the best way, and the plus at the end there, so that we just have this one, which is we have the up to here everything with the labelings already. Then we just add the polygon without repeating the labelings. Alright, okay, like that. Correct. I'll save it like this. Okay, then the next, so this one we're done. The next is on the on the scatter plot. So the scatter plot, let me maximize here. The scatter plot, which means, from, as I've already explained, here you use the point. So when you do the points, it will do up to here, as I said, and then I'm adding the line of best fit here. So now that you have understood, so which means now that we are together, this lab we may not need to repeat. Just stop there. Okay, I'll save it. So we'll run from here up to here. So what we're saying is ggplot, and then this one is two-dimensional because it's a scatter plot. It's a two-way. In scatter we call it two-way plot. There's one-way plot and two-way plot. All the the ones we've been doing before, they were one-way plot, except this one. This one we did a two-way plot. We had the x-axis and y-axis. Okay, this one only. So the x-axis and y-axis was a two-way plot. Okay, but this one we're doing here now. We're here. Okay, let me move. This is where it's here. This one, if I run from here to here, is a two-way plot. So therefore, if it's a two-way, we must have x and y. We must mention what is on the x-axis and what is on the y-axis for ggplot, and the data frame. So these ones, they must be measured in the asterisks. And then we have got the geometric, that is the plotting type, which is the what point. The point which will be dark blue. Okay. This case alpha is 0.7. Okay. These ones will be just scatter points, and then you label the relationship between mathematics and English grades. Okay. Now, so which means mathematics will be on the horizontal, English will be on the vertical. If you wanted to swap, you just swap x and y, as you noticed how we swapped horizontal bar graph and the vertical bar graph. All right, and then we add a linear line based fit. Okay. So before that, let me line up to here without adding the. If I put with a plus, to give an error. Let me just run the to give an error. Okay, not to give an error, but to still be waiting because it was of the plus. It means I'm still working. You can see here. Okay, so I have to just close with a bracket, enter to terminate it. See, yeah. But we need to stop here. Okay, if I run, so to plot the scattergram, which is the scatter plot of the mathematics and the English grades. Okay, so that's just a scatter, but we want to see whether there's a linear relationship, so we can fit a base linear fit. It's not only linear fit, you can fit smooth or whatever we will do in another video, but here we just fit a base linear, assuming a linear fit, not in a linear one. Like you can use the density for the non-linear one, that if wanted in a linear one. Okay, I'll show here. I'll put the density as well. So that's with the kernel. Okay, by default to use the kernel density. Okay, now if we okay, so if what do I do? Okay, if I run this one, I already ran, but what I mean was if I now add this one up to here, then what we'll do is it will add a line, a baseline of it. Okay, let me just add also so a line is we use not line. When you say line, it will connect point by point, all these points, that's the line. But every line, that's the baseline of it, the one which we use, which is y is equal to mx. You can label it again, the equation, you can label it there, because we will have the slope, and if you want, okay, only that time, you can in another video, we'll show you inside this AB line, you can show the coefficients here, the alpha and the beta, there's y-intercept and the slope of this line. Okay, then you can label them, you can annotate them inside here. Okay, then yeah, so we see that we get the first line, I mean the AB line, desired. Okay, let us go to the box plots. So I remove this one, I go to the box plots. Okay, what we want here now is to box plots. Okay, you can say enter here. What happens with the box plots? Box plots. Okay, so if I run, okay, but let us start with this one. If I run this box plot, yeah, you see, similarly, if you wanted them to be horizontal, because these ones are vertical, that is the box plot of biology grades. You can choose any other, so you can put them there. Okay, so because I've chosen only this, so you to put for sex and to put for what, y for biology. Which means sex has got male, female, so which means sex, it will have male and female, see, whereby y is biology, so we'll have biology there, see. If you wanted the age group, that's the one which we have got here, so x will be age group, then we've got that one there. Okay, so which would be like, what can we say here? Okay, if we just swapped, if we put y and x, which was swapped like that, and then this one y, and then swap here, put here x, y, and here x, then it will be a horizontal now, like this box plot. Yeah, okay. So similarly, if we do this one for edge group, that's from here up to here, then we'll see that we get that one. If we wanted it horizontal, we do the same thing, put here y and here x, interchange, and then it means here also we'll have y here, and then we'll have x here. In that case, it will be like that, and on the side. Okay, all right, we've done this as box plot. What about correlations? So we need the correlation plot variable. Okay, if we execute this one, so we've loaded it, we need to load it. If you don't have it, you must install it. Okay, then we select, now we want to do the correlations, which is we must select the grade columns for correlation, because we're not just correlate the whole data frame. So here, that's when I'm showing now the techniques, how you select the variables of interest from a data frame. Okay, I can just combine them like that, like that, like that. Okay, so I can put the maximum like this. So there are, I've put 5 ways here, 5 different ways. So it's from here up to here. There are 5 different ways how you can. The first thing is we're dealing with correlations. So the first thing is to load the library, that one which I've already loaded. Then the second thing, after loading the library, then the second thing is now to run the correlation. Okay, before we run the correlations, because we run the correlations here, so we can calculate the correlation matrix and then print it. Okay, but before we go here, I want to select what are we including in the correlation. Okay, so now there are 5 ways of doing the same thing. Okay, way number 1, I'll first run this one. Okay, so we take this one, we run the first option. This one, what we are doing is we can use comma without mentioning any row. It means we'll take all the rows, but just from, if I came here, let me go to the data freedom, so you can see that this is 0, the ID, and then column 1, I mean the index, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then last one is 10, so that's 10 columns. Okay, now, or the 9 I mean, now it means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, there are 10 columns. So we'll start with 1, 2, the first one is mathematics, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we'll start from 5 up to 10, so we'll go 5 to 10. Okay, so to index from 5 up to 10. Okay, because this one, the first one will be 1, then up to 10. Alright, now if you see, it means we've selected only, if we do that way. Okay, let me run it, let me close here because I didn't run. So subject 1, if you were to see subject 1 here, subject sample subject 1, if you see that now this one has got only 7 columns, mathematics up to chemistry. So that's another way, that's the first way. The second way is to do like this. You select the columns first, that's the second way, the second option. I've done the first option. Now the second option, you select, I mean you use C, that is concatenate C, so you select the ones that you want. In this case, mathematics, English, this one, just put this list of these names, and then you put in just column names, and then you say subject 2, you put comma, and then you just put this list of that one. Okay, this one works only if they're already consecutive, if they're already ordered, but this one, starting from here, from 2 going down, it works even if they're ordered or not, and you can even jump others. Like here's mathematics, English, you can jump. If you jump English, then the result will not have English. Computer, you can jump, then the ones which you have jumped will be excluded, but the order will be in the way you have put them here. So if you wanted to change the order, then when you are putting this C, then you just change the order here. If you wanted English to appear first, then physics, then math, then chemistry, then biology, and then physics. Then you can order in that order in this list. When you order them, the data set will be ordered following these selected columns. Okay, let us see. So if you run, let me deliberately maybe remove biology and computer. Remove biology and computer. So it means if we do like that, if I run, you see that the 2 will have no biology and computer. Okay, and it will be only 4 columns. All right, let us see another option. Another option is the this one, option number 3. Option number 3, that's where we can use the index, like we can just directory, instead of maybe finding another selected column there, then that column put there. You can just go directory and just put there. See this one, which was the selected columns there, you can just put it directly where the selected column, you can just put these ones directly there, the ones that you want. So maybe I don't want the physics, chemistry, and I don't want the mathematics. Then it means I will have only 3. I will have only English, biology, and chemistry. Technique number 4, you can use chaining. This chaining, sometimes we call it piped operator. That's the chain of sequence. So in this case, when we use, that's the percent greater than percent, this is chaining. What it means is that the one which is on the left hand side operator, operand, becomes the first parameter or argument in the function on the right. So this one works on that you put on the left hand side, you put a function, and on the right hand side you put a function, and then the return value, which is the result for this function on the left, becomes the input as the first argument for the second function on the right. So what we're saying is like, or method on the right. So what we're saying is like here, when we use it like here, it means this, the return of this on the left to be a data frame. Okay, if you just print this one to give return the data frame, this one on the right hand side, it will select these subjects. Okay, it will select these subjects. Now when you do like this, it's like you have said select, and then data frame, then select this. So it's like this is same as saying select. Okay, let me run it. It's the same as select these subjects from the data frames. Okay, so if I run, okay, but here to do all of them, but let me remove mathematics and English. Okay, then what to do is 4. It means it has removed mathematics and English. Okay, or maybe I can remove chemistry and chemistry, or let me just remove physics. I just remove physics. Okay, so it means if I run it, 4, I just have removed physics only. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and another one also is this one, the last option. That's where you use the subset. This is the one which I prefer most. So it says subject 5, then subset, then a subset from the data set, then select this one. Okay, what we're saying by this is subset, this one, which means this chaining. Okay, let me run this one. So if I remove now the English, just remove the English. Okay, I remove the English, I run, then number 5, it will have no English. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, all right, because we'll explain a lot on this one. So let us proceed to the another category. What about subplots? Subplots and combining multiple plots. Yes, well, subplots and combining multiple plots. What we'll do is this. So start from here up to here. Okay, so from here up to here, let me go up to here. I want to do up to here. Okay, what are we doing here? Like this one is the scatter plot. Okay, so let me put up to there. Okay, save, can save all. So the scatter plot of math versus English grades. The facets bisects rows and edge group columns. What it means is this we're dealing with the subplot, we're like a panel plot, or like the one which will have like the groups. So if you are plotting over a grouped variable which is like a factor or categorical, we can use the this technique of facet grid, that is for grouping on the grid. So if you facet grid, what it means is this, the very same thing we were doing before, but now we have got the point. So the scatter plot, we've got the point, this one I think you know now, and then we've got the AB line, that's the line we fit on the scatter plots. Then we put the facet. Okay, so if I run first here up to here, if I run this part, we only have just the scatter plot like this one. Okay, if I maximize, just have the scatter plot like this one. Okay, mathematics and English and scatter plot, and then we've not even put the labels and the like, so it will take by default the labels of where we'll put math, x is math, so x and y is English. Okay, we just put them as the labels, and it does not have the subtitle and the main title. Okay, now when we add a line up to here, you know this one, we're adding a red line. This was dark blue, a red line, which is a run, so to run a line like that. Okay, that's the y is equal to something, and then this looks like y is equal to x. Yeah, okay, but it's not, this relationship is like y is equal to x, but yeah, that's what it looks like, but it could be different from this, yeah, depending on how the data, because I use just simulated data. Okay, so what I mean is here it means the gradient is something like because this is a 45 degrees, which will be like passing through the 0, 0 here, and the 100, which is y is equal to 1, but sometimes you can have different from this. Okay, I think here it should be 1, the beta should be just 1, the slope should be 1, yeah, because 1 unit increase here is same as 1 unit increase there, so it's 1 to 1. Okay, but sometimes you can have greater than 1 or above 1 slope, yeah, depending on the data set. Alright, now after doing that, now we add the facet. What the facet is doing, let me run. What the facet is doing, when I just run from there, it is splitting the grid so that it's paneling. The data set is grouping them. So instead of just running the scatter plot, before the facet grid, okay, it was just everything. Okay, if I run up to here, so everything like that. But the moment I group into a factor, which is a certain factor, which is the there must be 2 now, 6 and what, and edge group. It means now what it has done, the first one on the left is this group factor, this one, or categorical of this one here will be for the row panel. So which means we've got 6 has got male and female, which means the first rows will be female and male, and then the edge will be the columns, which also is on the appearing on the right hand side, okay, of this relation. This is like a relation, how they are related. Okay, so these are the dimensions. This one defines the row panel, whereby this one the column. Okay, so which means we've got all facets. Okay, we can call them facets. Okay, so this one, that's why we have got 2 rows for 6, this and this, and then 3 columns for edge groups, this edge group and the third one. Okay, now you can put the main title, subtitle, all those things by the labs, and then you can also mention, instead of defaulting to math, you can put their mathematics grades, and on English you can put English grades. Let me run before I go to them. So you see, did I run? No. Run? No, there's an error, which means I have not selected from the beginning. Oh no, yeah, I should go up to the round bracket. Yeah, just before the plus. Okay, so which means we have the mathematics grades. We have the mathematics grades here, and then the English grades here, and then the topic there, like that. Okay, great. Now what about if I added the theme? You already know what happens. It will now have the theme. Okay, you see, if without the theme, you can see the difference. Run. You see the way it's looking, it's like dark, but the green one, when I put the black, white, green, you see now, you see more. Oh, so is the difference, or is the classic, the default one? Let me run here. No, they're different. So if I come to this one, they're different. If I come to this one, yeah, it's looking like the same. So it means this one is the default one. Yeah, if they're the same, there's the default one. But if here you changed to maybe classic. Okay, I'm not sure which one is the default one, but the if you don't control here to go to the default one, but if we control like this one, then to have to go with what you have chosen. So here I've chosen the classic. Where is it? Up here. Okay, if I run, so this will be the classic one, like this. Okay, you see how it's doing. That's for the classic one. So to put just the one for female on top of one for female. Okay, but we can maintain the one which we had before. It's fine. The green one. So go here to where? Okay, let me start from here. This one I've done already. Oh no. Correlation. We done the correlation. Oh, the correlation. I think I jumped. Okay. So after finishing that one, I jumped the correlation here. Okay. So the correlation. Let me run it because I jumped. The correlation, when you run it, then to give the correlation matrix. Okay, because last time we just did it, so to give the correlation matrix of those. Yeah, this was very important. I jumped it. Okay, now we're running from here up to, yeah, we're here up to, that's this one. Let me go down. Yeah, up to here. Okay, yeah. So if we do this way, then we have this, which is not really changing many things. Okay, so which means this one we can leave it. It's not, yeah, I just stop there. This one again, I just stop there. Okay, now we've run that one. Let me run again this one. If I run it, save, run, that's what we have there. Yeah, that's the group as well we explained. But now let us go to the other one. The other one is just exactly the same thing. Let me remove the, I've already removed. You see the same one exactly. The only difference is that now I've swapped the x and y, the relation one. So what we're saying is the edge first then sex, which means now this will be faceted by edge group or as rows, and then the sex as columns, which means we have a panel of 3 now rows, and then only 2 columns. Alright, so you can see, oh, I've forgotten something at the end. Okay, I'll put a plus, which means this plus must not be there. Run. Okay, this plus must not be there now because I removed something there, but it means, okay, I need just to run again. Okay, yeah, let me run again. Yeah, so in this case now we're paneling first the edge group that's on the facet grid here. So the facet grid is the edge group first, which means it will enter the columns as the rows. There will be 3 edge groups, and then the sex as the column there will be 2. So that's how we panel these supports based on the, if you've got 2, this works. The facet grid works if you've got 2 categorical variables or factor variables that you can which are categorical, like sex and age. You can have maybe age and marital status. They do classify sex and the marital status like that. Marital status and sex. Okay, what did they say? Age and the age group and the marital status. Yeah, I've already explained. You can have as many as long as it's the categorical. All right. Then, but there will be 2 at a time. Okay, one should be a column, categorical variable, another one facet, another one must be the other facet. Okay, let us go to now. We go here. The last part, which is combining now. How do we combine different altogether? Welcome. So if you have not subscribed, remember to subscribe. Okay, this was support and combining multiple plots. So we've done, now we forgot the independent, this we've done, which we've done up to here. What about if we, oh, that's the one which we're doing. So which means we have now independent of them. There's something here. Did I delete something? I think I've deleted something. Let me undo. I deleted something down here. No, I've deleted something. Correlations. I think I've deleted something. Let me come here down. Low. I've deleted something. Alright. Histogram frequency. Okay, this multiple layers is something which I've deleted. A line, box plot created, that one, correlations, which I've just learned. I think somewhere, multiple plots. Oh, I've deleted something. I don't know how when I deleted it. Okay, but I can just explain it. Okay, I think I made a mistake. Let me see here. Is it here? Oh, let me see. Yo, I did not delete, but I. Okay, here. All right, I was wondering. So you see here, I did like this. I think, yeah, I put it hidden. Okay, so I wanted this one part. That's the last part. Okay, yeah. So this last part of this tutorial, yeah, it's from here. Let me do like that. Okay, great. So ggplot is a good one. Now we have done this one, which we're showing now here. We're paneling it, the grades of the scatter plots of maths versus English grades, any plotting type that you have, and then you do it for females and for for students, I should say, for sex and for the age group, and then put them whether which one should be on the vertical and so on. But another one is that you can have independent plots, and then you combine them, so many plots which are independent, and combine them in one in one grid in two-dimensional space. This one now, it will be like, okay, if I take from here up to here, okay, you must use the GridExtra. Let me run. So that's the GridExtra. I've run it. So if you don't have it, you must install it. So I've attached the packet GridExtra. Yeah, so like that. Okay, great. Now after loading this library, now where are we? Let me put it in full. Yeah, so that one, that's what we've done. Then now we need to create as many variables, not variables, but plotting types or graphics which we want to combine them together. And these ones now, this what I was doing before, it was one thing. It was a scatter plot with a line base of it for English versus mathematics grades, but we were faceting it by sex and by age group. Okay, so to see whether age or these two categorical variables, one should be the column and one panel, and another one should be the row panel. Okay, but that was one prototype. Well, by here, what we're talking here about with this GridExtra is now that we have got P1 on its own, is a graph on its own. Okay, so you can see that these ones are the ones which we've done before, only that now I've renamed them. Instead of saying histogram, bar chart, what like this one is a bar chart of sex grades. Okay, so that is the bar chart of the sex, I mean, not sex grades, but of the sex, so that's of the gender. So the male and female, we put the bar chart. Now what I've done is I've just put there for the ease of to explain properly what I want to do, to see how the grid works. So I'll put them as plot 1, plot 2, but this is a plot P2, which is plot 2, P3 I've assigned to P3. They're the ones we've done before, only that now here we had the names like histogram, line, like that, this is scatter plot, what, but I've just put plot 1, plot 2, plot 4 as titles. This was something else before. I've just put it plot number, where is the plot type? It should be here, plot 5, okay, and then last plot 6. Okay, so which means all these 6 plots now, the first thing is to run all of these ones. Let me run and just you assign them plot 1 up to plot. These ones are not repeated because we already know them. They're the ones we've been doing before up to here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just running plot 6, plot 5, plot 4, plot 3, plot 2, plot 1. Others are bar charts, others are histograms and frequencies, others are like that, scatter plots or whatever, histogram or whatever. Then when we have all these ones, charts, now we want to put them on one grid. Okay, let me first run. You run them first, but now when you run here, they will not plot, they will just run. Why they're not plotting? Because we have assigned them into, we've kept them, these plots we've assigned into P1, P2, P5. These P1, P2, P3, they will be the plots. Okay, but they're not showing here yet. Okay, you know, if you run just from here up to here without this assignment here for plot 3, if I just run here, it will plot this one. See, that's the one which we had before. The line one. Even if I run just this one up to here, P2, plot 2, it will plot. This is plot 2. Okay, so you see that I've changed just the titles there. This was the plot 1. Plot 1. If I run from up to here, plot 1. So this will be plot 1. But because when you run it like that, then it just if you run like this one, it does not plot, it just keeps into P1, P2. I think I've understood. Okay, so now I've got 6 plots. Now right here, now we need to combine them. How do we combine them? It's simple, very simple. So it's just this one. That's the end of the script, but we'll have some 10 minutes. What 10 minutes? Just wait, don't go. It's just maybe 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, but 5 minutes, or 6 minutes, somewhere there. Okay, now arrange the plots in desired number of rows and number of columns. So we use the grid function, grid.arrange function. This one is simple. What it does is you just list all the graphics that you have stored, okay, the ggplot graphics that you have, and then you put them, all of them, you list them that you want to put, and then after that you specify the number of rows and the number of columns, and of course there are other parameters, other options also, but I've ignored them for this lesson. In other video we'll go and do investigate, explore more of the other options in this function. Okay, but for now we'll just see how we grid them to okay, like 1 column, 1 row, 6 column. Okay, we'll do also show you also the 2 3 3 2 4 2 2 4, what exactly happens. Okay, so if you see here already, it's in the coding at the background, it multiplies. So it's like the number of rows is 1 and the number of columns 6. It means the available spaces you reserve in this grid, when you do grid arrange, it reserves, before it plots, it reserves 6 spaces, and then you can plot on top of, you can plot up to 6. Okay, so it means here if you've got 1 2 3 4 5 6, then this one will work, okay, with the 1 column, that one. But if I can do here 1 5, 1 by 5, it means I'm allowing, it means 1 2 3 4 5 6, it means this will not work. So if I can run this one, will not work out, will give an error. See why? The error will be because number of rows times number of columns must be greater than or equal to n is not true. Okay, which means the must be greater than or equal to, what it means is the number of rows and columns when you multiply, that's the number of all plots. This number of rows times number of columns, that's the number of all possible slots for plotting. Okay, so this one must be equal to the number of plots that you have, or must exceed the number of plots. If it exceeds, you will have the other at the end, which will be blank, which is fine, but you will not have less, because if you have less, that means you will not be able to allocate all fully. Okay, all the, yeah. So that's why it can't. So the minimum we can have here is 1 by 6. This one will work. What does it do in this case? You will have only 1 row and 6 columns. Okay, so when it means 1 row 6 columns, it means all your things will be plotted in just a row panel. Okay, let me run. So they'll just be in a row panel like that. Can you see? They'll just be like that. So we have got the just like that. So I would plot 1, plot 2, plot 3, plot 4, plot 5, plot 6. They will enter in just 1 column. These were different columns that were graphics that we have done before. You can even add new ones, and then all of them will go there. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. Good. Let us see and to enter in that order, plot 1 up to plot 6. You can see it's in that order. What about if you had instead of 1 to 6, if we had now 2 by 3, will it work? Yes. Why? Because 2 by 3 is 6, so it will work. But now how will it plot? So it means it will, let us plot. What it will do is it will have 2 columns, 2 rows and 2 columns. So it will be a 2 by 3, which will be 2 rows and 2 rows and then 2 columns. But how will it feel? These ones I entered them in the order the way I entered them. They were 1 2 3 4 5 6. It does not matter, but the order I'm entering these ones on the left is the order will enter on the grid. If I started with P1, then P3, then here would have been P1, the next would be P2, P3. Okay, in that order. And here I've just put them in the order 1 2 3 up to 6, but so that we see how it's feeling here. So which means here it will feel this is column in any computer programming, Java, C++, Visual Basic, PHP, R, Python, anything else, any coding that you have in the world, the precedence is column. So because the precedence is column, then it will start processing the columns first. So when it processes the columns first, it means it will have to enter a row first. Okay, can you hear me this language? It will precede the columns. It will have to go column by column first. Now when it's doing column by column first, it means it is filling a row by row. Hello? Yeah, because others they get confused. When we say precedence is column, others they feel like it will fill the column first. No, precedence is column. We mean that it does column 1, then it jumps to column 2, then it jumps to column 3 for an individual, for a record. So it will fill the first row first. Okay. So what it means is it will fill, because this is 2 rows by 3 columns. It will fill the first row 1, 2, 3. Then it will continue the second row. All right. Let us put now this was 2 by 3. What about 3? 3 rows and then by 2 columns. Will it work? Yes, it will work because there are 6 that are equal to the number that we want. Let us run. But now the rows will be 3 now. The rows now are 3. The rows are 3 and the columns are only 2. Okay, the rows are only 2. Now it will fill row by row. So you can see 1, 2, then it goes another row. 3, 4, then it goes another row. 5, 6. Okay. If you want to see nicely what maybe here, because maybe they are becoming many here, you can zoom. So if you zoom, you can see like this. So you can see that plot 1, plot 2, you have got 3 rows and then 2 columns, and then you fill, because the precedence is column by column, a column first, then it will fill a row first. So precedence is column, so it will fill a row first. Then after exhausting a row, it goes to another row, because precedence is column. All right. So 1, 2, then we'll go another row, 3, 4, then another row, 5, 6. Okay. And then if we go to, so by default, these other ones, the title is on the left, topmost left corner. But for these ones which we used the facet for using the grouping them by what, sex and age group, like that, or this one was the sex by age group 5, by 6 was age group by what, by sex, so that we interchange the rows and columns. But it was one plot. This one, the title by default goes in the middle on the top, not on the left. Okay. All right. Let's, for the title one, let's go to, I close this one. Let's go to, that was the 3 by 2. What about 4? Before we finish, 4 by 2, will it work? Yes, because 4 by 2 is 8 spaces, so it will work. Only that it will reserve 2 spaces at the end. But which spaces will be reserved? Because precedence is column, so we fill row first. Okay, let us zoom. So we zoom. Okay, so it's 4 by 3, which means we have 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, and at the bottom there will be the 4th column. So because these ones that are fewer, there are 6, it will work. Only that now it will fill by precedence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then here it was waiting for plot 7 and 8, but we don't have plot 7 and 8. So it will just reserve an empty space for plot 7 and 8 at the bottom. Right. Lastly, what about if we had 2 by 4? 2 by 4. Of course, that may not be the last one exactly. We can have also a last most, which I'm thinking now. We can have also a 3 by 3. 2 by 2 will not work. Why? 2 by 2 will reserve only 4, and then, but this space will not be enough. But 3 by 3 will be 9, which will be enough. Let us, but it will remain with the, because these are 6 plots, will remain with 3 places. What about 4 by 2 by 4? Okay, so if we run 2 by 4, 2 rows and 4 columns, you see how it's looking like. So it means there are 2 rows. This one I think you can see even if I don't zoom. Okay, let me zoom it. But you can see without zooming, I think. So we have got 2 rows and 4 columns. So to fill a row first, because this is column, so that's why we got 1 up to 4 and then 5, 6. That will reserve 7 and 8 in this way at the end. It was filling row by row due to precedence of column. All right. What about the last one now, which I've added? If we had 3 by 3 columns, this one, that's the last one for today. If we run, so you see that we have got 9 spaces. So what will happen? Because 3 by 3, it's 9 spaces. So if I can zoom it, zoom, so you can see that there are 3 by 3. So it will fill 3, and then the bottom 6, and then we'll have number 7, 8 and 9 just waiting here, you see. Yeah, but by doing this way, it means we were not doing the nice thing, because that's why now the scaling aspects, you can see that are now overlapping these numbers, text and that, because of that. But I just wanted you to see why, because we were putting too many things on a small space, and then just leave out blank 3 spaces there, see. So this would not be a best way, but I just added so that you just see. Okay, so which one would have been the best way, and one here, which I can just do that one. The best one would be maybe 2 by 3 columns. Okay, 2 by 3, that's what I'm thinking. That would be the best one. Let us learn this one, 2 by 3. Out of all these ones, I think that's one I would prefer, this one, 2 by 3. Okay, so if I run a zoom, 2 by 3. If I zoom, okay, so that's a zoom, yes. Okay, zoom. I already zoomed, so it means it's down here. Let me go, where is it? This is our zoom. Okay, it's here. Okay. Oh, I minimized it. Okay, so sometimes when I was closing here, instead of closing, I minimized. Okay, so in this case, this is one which I would prefer. So a 2 by 3 one. Okay, so that will have what, 3 columns, 2 by 3, 2 rows and 3 columns. Yeah, so if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Yeah. So this is what we need. Thank you. Bye.